Have you ever felt like you were in a movie? A really bad one. A black and white movie where it's always raining and you're just walking in the rain. That's what my 30s felt like. A decade of darkness, a time I thought would never end. I had a job, a decent one, but it was a nightmare. My boss was a tyrant, a micromanager. He demanded more and more. It felt like I was working for a machine. I was just a cog. I wasn't a human. I couldn't even leave the office. Not until after midnight. Every single night. For a whole month. I didn't see my friends. I barely slept. I ate at my desk. I felt like I was dying. A slow, agonizing death. Everyone around me seemed so happy. They were getting promotions, buying new cars, going on vacations. They had a life. I didn't. I felt like a ghost. I was invisible. I was just a body. Going to work, coming home, a shell of a person. I was so exhausted. My body started to break down. My health was failing. I developed a chronic illness, something with no cure. My doctor said it was from stress. He said I had to stop working so much, but I couldn't. I felt trapped. Then things got even worse. I had some savings. I had worked so hard to build that nest egg. I had a good amount of money. I thought I was being smart. I invested it. I put all my money into a real estate deal. It seemed too good to be true. And it was. I was scammed. I lost everything. Every single dollar. The money I had saved for years, poof, gone. Just like that. I remember that day, I just sat there, staring at the wall. My mind was blank. All I felt was nothing. I wanted to just disappear, to fade away. I didn't want to live anymore. It felt like my life was over. All my hard work was for nothing. I felt like I was a complete failure, a loser. The universe was telling me to give up. So I did. I quit my job. I sold my apartment. I felt like I was starting over. But not in a good way, in a sad way. I felt defeated. I spent a few months just living. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. But something strange happened. I was forced to stop. I was forced to be still. I had no choice but to think about my life, about what I was doing wrong, and I realized something. I had to let go. I had to let go of my old life, the one that was so painful, the one that was making me sick. I had to change. I had to change everything. My perspective, my mindset, my approach to life. I started to look for new things, new opportunities. I was afraid. So afraid. But I had nothing left to lose. I saw life as a big, dark building, the kind you don't want to enter, the kind with a lot of scary doors. I knew I had to go inside. I had to start opening doors, one by one. Some doors would lead to dead ends. Some would be a mistake. But I had to try. I had to take a chance. I started a new job. It was different. The people were kind. My new boss was amazing. He saw my potential. He gave me a chance. I worked hard. Not to prove something to anyone else, but to prove something to myself. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be happy. I worked my way up. It was fast. I was promoted. I became the youngest person to lead a department. I was so proud. It wasn't about the title. It was about the journey from darkness to light. Then my luck started to change. I started to make better choices. I learned from my past mistakes. I took a chance on some investments. I bought some real estate. I invested in some stocks, and it paid off. Big time. My investments grew. My wealth grew. I was no longer struggling. I was no longer living paycheck to paycheck. I became financially free. It was an incredible feeling. I could finally breathe. I could finally relax. I realized that my worst moments were my best teachers. The loss of my savings, the chronic illness, the horrible job. They taught me lessons I never would have learned otherwise. They forced me to change. They pushed me to open that door, to enter that scary building, to take a chance. My suffering wasn't a punishment, it was a catalyst. It was a gift. It was a sign that I needed a new direction. Now, my life is so different. I am healthy, I am happy, I am financially free, I have a life. I get to choose what I do, I get to choose when I work. My past feels like a dream, a bad dream, but a necessary one. It reminds me of how far I've come. It reminds me of how strong I am. It reminds me to be grateful for everything, for my health, for my money, for my life. My success wasn't because of luck. Not really. It was because I created my own luck. I was desperate. I was at my lowest, so I had no choice but to try. To seek out new opportunities, to open those scary doors, I became a different person, a more hopeful person, a more grateful person, and that's what changed my life. The hard times didn't break me. They built me. They prepared me for the good things to come. So if you're in your own dark movie right now, if you feel like you're walking in the rain, just keep walking. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. The storm won't last forever. You have the power to change your life. You have the power to open that door, to enter that new building, to find your own luck, to find your own happiness. Your struggle is not an end. It is a beginning. The beginning of your new story. A story with a happy ending. A story that you get to write yourself. A story that is waiting for you.